Libra, welcome to your reading for the month of June 2016. So this month I'm doing something a little bit different and doing a little bit longer readings, and I split up the reading into sections. So your first section is your main focus for this month, and the first card you have is the Seven of Spades. I apologize. Seven of Spades is all about removing like unnecessary things from your life, things that you don't need anymore, and it's also about overcoming fears in a lot of ways. So the Seven of Spades is a card of fears. It represents fears, but it represents fears that do not exist. So definitely, like, you know, any fears that you have, anything that's preventing you from moving forward or anything like that, definitely a good month to try to move back past those things. This is also a card of friends and needing to make sure that you don't create arguments with friends and things like that. So definitely, you know, don't argue with anybody who's important to you this month, because it could end up being much worse. And the next card you have is the Four of Spades, which is also a card of not arguing and not arguing with people in your life this month. So definitely try to avoid arguments at all costs, because you know, Four of Spades, Seven of Spades, things get totally blown out of proportion and turned into something else. So again, this is your main focus, and so I would definitely avoid arguments at all costs. But on the flip side, this is a very good card. It's a card of comfort. It's a card of trying to create more comfort in your life, trying to become more comfortable, looking at how you can create more comfort in your life, more success and things like that. Whatever it is, I mean, you know, everybody's different. Everybody's comfortable with different things. So whatever, you know, comfort means to you, a lot of you could be focused on that this month. This is also a good card for recovery. So like any of you that have been stressed out or injured or sick or anything like that, this is a card of recovering, finding recovery, finding ways to better recover, even getting like second opinions from doctors and things like that, that could really help you out. So you know, it's a good card for that. And finally, Four of Spades is a card of needing to take a vacation, needing to take a break. So maybe a lot of you need to take some time for yourself, maybe take some time away, take some sort of break or something like that. You know, I always say fours have like a million readings. Like every single four has a ton of different meanings. So it's going to be different for everybody, but it's definitely a card needing to take a break and take a vacation. And next you have the Five of Diamonds. Five of Diamonds is a card of starting new things and beginning new projects. It's a card of selling things as well. It's a card of deciding where to settle, very similar to that Four of Spades. So a lot of you could be thinking about moving, planning a move, and things like that. And it's also a card of coming up with solutions to things. So definitely Four of Spades, Five of Diamonds, there's definitely some sort of solutions coming to you this month, which is really great. Seems to be a focus, so that's really nice. But this is also a card of receiving messages. This has come up in a different ways for pretty much all the signs, that there's definitely messages coming in this month. It must be a very spiritual month in June, so definitely like stay open to any messages that you receive from other people. But it's also a great card, like I said, for starting new things. So any of you that are like starting new businesses, new jobs, new relationships, it's a great card for all of that. Next, for the area of love, you start with the Queen of Spades. Queen of Spades is about not being tricked in love in a lot of ways, so definitely watch out for that. It could be you like falling in love with somebody who's like manipulative or malicious or something like that, so definitely avoid people who seem tricky or too good to be true. You know, definitely avoid those types of people. But it is also a card of just like jumping into things. So maybe a lot of you have some insecurities or something like that surrounding relationships, and you might be thinking that, like, this month, like, how you can overcome those things and, you know, move past them. It can also be a card of, like, somebody interfering with a relationship as well. If that's the case, just try to ignore the person, and again, don't create any arguments, and you'll be fine. Next, you have the Lovers in reverse, so definitely needing to make a decision here in love, maybe needing to make some, you know, choices and things like that. Maybe you're having a hard time making choices this month. You know, even if you're already in a relationship or you're not in a relationship, it doesn't really matter. You know, there's always decisions and choices that need to be made. So maybe like a lot of you are thinking about these decisions, thinking about making decisions, all sorts of things come up with this card. So, you know, it's a good month to be decisive. It's a good month to just pick a side and make a decision, but again, without arguing. So, you know, it's kind of like a tricky month, I guess, in that respect, but it's still a very positive month. And then finally, you end with the Ten of Hearts here in love. And the Ten of Hearts is a very good card. It does represent like fortune after difficulty. So good things happening to you in love after a difficult period of time. This card can even represent marriage. It's a very social card. So again, any of you that are looking for love, social events would be very positive for you. It would probably be a good idea for you to go to any social type events that you possibly can this month, because you never know, you might meet somebody. It also, it represents like having a bunch of people who might be interested in you. Like, look, there's 10 hearts on this card, so those of you that are single might have a lot of people that are interested in you. If you're not single, if you're with somebody, again, this can represent marriage. It can also represent being social with the person that you're with. So a lot of you could be, going to social type events and having a lot of fun. This card represents fun and like having a good time with the person that you're already with. So that's really nice as well. Next, in the area of money and finance, you start off with the Three of Spades. Three of Spades is a card of needing to watch like your financial health and things like that. It is a card, it can represent difficulties in the past, which a lot of people have been through very frustrating, difficult financial situations in the past, so that led to like stress and things like that. This is a health card, so maybe there's a direct tie-in with past finances and stress and your health level and things. So a lot of you might be looking at how you can improve that, maybe how you can improve your health, how you can improve those stressful situations, and how you can make sure that it never happens again. So a lot of you might be thinking about that. But next, you have the Eight of Hearts, which is a very good financial card. Again, it's about increasing your finances and making sure that these any negative financial situations don't ever happen again. So that's definitely a focus for you Libras out there, and the Eight of Hearts represents looking at that. Eight of Hearts is also a good work card, so any of you that work or have a business or anything like that, you could see a lot of like return from the work that you do. The card can represent a promotion as well, and just more money coming in if you own a business, so that's really nice. And it's just a really good positive card for better luck coming in even as well in regards to finances. And next you have the Ten of Clubs, which is another really good card for abundance and finances and better finances coming to you. So that's really nice to have this month. It's even a card of traveling, needing to travel, and thinking about traveling for business. So a lot of you could potentially be traveling for those things, and even moving. I mean, it can even be a card of needing to move for business or needing to move for a job or something along those lines. And it's a card of happiness, so not only would it probably lead to a promotion, a better position, or a better business or whatever, but it would also lead to some more happiness. But in general, this card is also considered just like a good new beginning card, a good omen, and so that's very positive. It also can represent like more contracts, better contracts, meeting with new people, being better at sales, being good at marketing. It's a card of reaching the masses. Like you can see all these clubs that are on this deck, kind of like the Ten of Hearts. Tens represent a bunch and being able to like reach out to a bunch of different things and having a bunch of things. So this is a great card for all of those things, marketing and reaching people. So it's really good for any of you that speak or write or blog or YouTube, whatever it is that you do. It's great for those types of communications and things financially. It will help you out as well. Next, in the area of spirituality and your emotions and things, you have the Ace of Hearts. You really can't beat that. It's feeling really positive. Even on this deck that I'm using, it's represented by the Ace of Cups, and which is your emotions flowing over and feeling really happy and having a lot of happiness and things. It's also another card that represents like fortune after difficulty, so good things happening after a difficult period of time. You have two tens. They are both fortune after difficulty cards, so there's definitely like a lot of good stuff coming in for you, and even spiritually and emotionally there's a lot of good stuff. This is a card of like the home though, and focusing on the home and being spiritual in the home and maybe changing your spiritual practice, so that's really nice. Next, you have the Nine of Clubs, which is also a very like intuitive card, trusting your intuition and communicating. So a lot of you might even be communicating with other people about spirituality. It could even be you talking to yourself or your higher self. And it's also a good card for dreams and focusing on your dreams and looking at what your dreams have to tell you this month. So a lot of you might be focused on that as far as spirituality goes. And next, you have the Five of Spades. Also a very spiritual card, all about spirituality and focusing on spirituality. This is a card of breaking free. I always say that the Five of Spades, when it comes up for something like spirituality, is a card of like looking back at all your difficulties, all the difficult things that have happened to you, and realizing how much you've grown since dealing with like tons of difficulties and difficult things and anything that you've had to deal with in the past. So a lot of you could be thinking about that this month as well. And finally, I pull a card just to ask if there's anything else that the cards want you to know. And you have the Jack of Spades. definitely a card of like charging forward and just getting things done and moving forward on things that you want to do. So a lot of you could be doing that this month. I would say excuse me. Also, definitely watch out for tricky people this month. And anything you hear that seems too good to be true or anything like that, definitely avoid those things at all costs. You know, make money schemes and, you know, anything like that. Just avoid those things this month with this card. And this can also be having to deal with a difficult friend or something like that. But mostly it's about charging forward, getting things done, and making plans to do things as well. So, looks like a great month. Thank you for watching, and enjoy your June.